Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek, and we're going to be looking at Starfighter by designer Stefan Boudin with Eric Franklin showing this off for Istari.
Yes.
And I know it's a two-player game with some awesome artwork as well by Arnaud. But what else?
Well, the goal
Beyond
of the game, beyond that, the goal of the game, it's two capital ships fighting one another, and the
Okay.
goal is to destroy your opponent's capital ship. Your current status is represented by this marker, and once it hits that point, you are destroyed.
Okay.
The combat takes place via the use of these cards, which are double-sided. The back of the cards are all the same, makes it really
Okay.
hard to stack them. The front has a number of different things on them that have a variety of effects.
Okay.
There are three main phases of play. If I can see the rule book real quick here. The first phase of the turn is the reinforcements phase. During the reinforcements phase, you'll draw a number of cards equal to the number of draw symbols that you have still showing on your card,
Okay.
on your capital ship. So you'll start with, for example, in this case, we'll each start with 5 cards.
Okay.
And each card, as I said, has a whole lot of information on it, including a bunch of different symbols and whatnot. In the upper corner of the card, many of them have a symbol like this, which tells you where on the board that card can be played.
Okay.
If it does not have a symbol in this corner, it's considered a level 0 card, and it can be played anywhere as a wild spot.
Okay.
In order to play in any of the upper spots, you have to fill the lower spots first. So, for
Which
example,
is going to reduce your drawing capability. And
Exactly.
make everything harder.
but
Okay.
if I wanted to play this card here, I would first have to fill this space, then I would have to fill this space, and then this space.
Okay.
The unique trick to this game is not only that each card can be played face up or face down, so you always have a level 0 you can play anywhere on the board,
Okay.
but also that these special abilities trigger any time that ability is revealed. So if I play a card that, for example, if I get this
Move this down
rotated,
a little, yeah.
certainly. If I have this rotated and I play a card here, and then later this card is moved, this ability will trigger again immediately, and we will do whatever it is that particular ability is.
Okay.
Combat is done by lining up columns of starfighters against one another.
All right. Now let me turn it back around again.
All right? Yeah, I'm just causing trouble today.
Okay.
So, for example, if we have a setup that looks like
Oh, I got one here.
that, all right,
Got one here.
there we go.
Okay.
A setup like this, what we'll do is whichever player has the initiative will first collect tokens equal to the number of fighters they have. In this case, there are 3 visible fighters. And then over here we have 4 visible fighters. And then the player with initiative places first, so we'll place 1, which destroys this card, which would then trigger that ability again.
Okay.
And it is mandatory. This particular ability moves a card, any card on the board, from the bottom of the pile or middle of the pile or anywhere else to the top. Things
Okay.
then shift down to fill. And then we continue placing damage 2 and 3. And I still have 1 left after my last card is destroyed, so I would take 1 point of damage to my capital ship.
Okay.
In this case, since the damage dealing is determined at the beginning of combat, this doesn't move, so you're still only getting those tokens. But when I hit you, I'm going 1, 2, destroyed, no special ability to trigger, 3.
Okay.
That one will then continue to sit like that until this half of this card is covered. So this will remain damaged. If we had another fight right now, you would have 3 visible fighters.
Right.
So there are cards in the game which will pivot cards, which can hide fighters. There are cards in the game which move things to the top of the column, shift them to adjacent columns, shift them anywhere on the board, and so on.
Okay.
There are also cards which do direct damage. The red directly damages the person who played it. The yellow directly damages their opponent. This one, for example, completely destroys any card on the board.
All right. Whoa. This looks pretty neat. Okay.
And it's really basic. So,
Okay.
do you want to actually play a couple of turns, give it a shot?
So we're going to have the basics. So it's the basic rules of play that are going to be altered by whatever you're trying every single time. So we're going to start with 5, and on a turn you're playing only 1, or
Yes, you're playing only 1.
Okay.
And there is one additional wrinkle that shakes things up just a little bit more, and that is you can pass at any point. When you pass, if you're the first player to pass, you seize the initiative.
Okay.
This means that you are not only the first player, but you determine whether combat will move from left to right or right to left. It's
Okay.
your choice. And after the deployment phase, but before combat, you have the ability to shift the board one column in either direction. So if you have a large buildup of fighters here, and I pass early to seize the initiative, if I shift like this, your fighters aren't hitting anything. It's a complete waste of your time.
Okay.
I can also, if I've got some big numbers here, shift it this way so that your fighters have to mow through my biggest stack, reducing the damage I'm going to take.
Right. And now these are double-sided boards?
They are
so
double-sided.
You also have...
There are 4 different ship models, I believe,
Okay.
and each ship model has a different stack of cards. So this one, for example, you're drawing 6 cards every turn at the start, and you can only have 2 cards in this stack, 3 here and 4 in that column.
Right. Ruby.
So, yeah, we've been playing in the training mode here at the show.
Okay.
There are 4 additional special abilities that appear on cards that I've left in the box
Okay.
because they add the complexity just a little much. It's not that it's a difficult game because it's very simple rules-wise, but
The options available to
the
you.
options available, this will make your head explode the first time you actually have a chance to play it. So
Okay.
would you like to play a turn or two just to kind of get a feel for it?
Sure. We'll do one turn.
Okay. We can play hand up so that anyone watching can see what we've got here.
So as we're starting, again, I can take any card, orientation.
When playing, the
Right
orientation
here.
matters. You always play it with the green towards you.
Okay.
And if you're playing it face down, you play it with the ships towards your opponent.
Okay. Which are then
So-
going to get covered as you're
Right.
going through here.
So they'll still soak damage in a fight, but they're not actually going to be dealing damage in a fight.
Unless that's the only thing you play,
Yes, exactly.
which is sad.
Yep.
If you were
So
doing
if you
that.
notice, I have no level 0 chips, so I'm going to choose a card and play it face down as if it were a level 0, and I'm going to play it right there.
Okay. So each time you're doing things.
So what this does, and you must use the special abilities when you play them.
Okay.
So this does 1 point of damage to you.
Grossly unfair.
Well, it actually
to
damage
my-
directly to your capital ship.
Right.
And then this allows you to choose any card anywhere on the board and move it to any free space.
Okay. So we'll just move over here.
I would suggest over here,
Because potentially I can push it off the side.
because
if I
you
need
can
to.
seize initiative and push it off to the side.
right.
Exactly. I am then going to follow it up. Again, I have no level 0s, but I could do
If you're fighting an empty column, that does no damage to your capital ship.
it. Actually, fighting an empty column, this damage goes directly through to the capital ship.
Oh, then
Every
it's-
fighter
it's
is 1
perfect.
point of damage.
Then it's ideal.
Yeah. So I'm
And-
going to do that. This symbol is draw a card. I don't actually add it to my hand, though. I set it next to the board.
Okay.
During the next draw phase, I'll draw an ad.
So you can pass at any time, and you're going to draw this for the next phase, adding it to what you already hold.
Yes.
So I could just pass, take
Pass,
the initiative.
You seize the initiative. And I can continue playing. Since you've passed, I know you're not playing any more cards. So I'm just going to throw down some blockers. And hold on to that, and then I will pass.
Okay.
So you have the initiative. You may now shift the board 1 space in either direction.
Okay. Which, this does not actually work out at all for me.
Not as
No.
well. It's still not terrible, though.
No.
And then you decide, do you want to do combat from your left to right or from right to left?
Left to right. In this case, I don't think it makes a difference.
Okay, yeah, in this case it won't. So we go to this columm first.
I take 1.
You'll take 1 point directly to your capital ship. Next fight is
I
here.
do 1
I
to
will take
you.
1 direct to my capital ship.
And then these two will
Yep,
end up
you will
killing each
do
other.
2 points, I'll do 2 points. Both of these ships will be discarded.
And that is worthless.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you will draw 4 more cards.
And
I will draw
continue.
3 more. And we continue.
All right. Well, I think it's a good overview in terms of what we do here.
Yeah.
This is really, yes, you can already see like the possibilities of what you're going to have.
There are combos that you can
explode
form
very
with
quickly.
cards flipping and blowing up and moving around. It's a ton of fun. I've been playing it for 2 days now, and I can't wait to go play it again.
All right. Thanks very much for the overview, Eric.
Thank you for your time. Out.